What's better than fantasy football? Kyle Fridland, Jake Fridland.
Ain't nothing better than football.
Two brothers talking about the nitty and gritty of the best sport in the world. Welcome to the Fantasy Simpletons Show! After 17 weeks of blood, sweat, and tears, the grinding, the waiver wires, the trades, everything has led you to this moment. Not only is this championship week, it's also Christmas week. Merry Christmas, everybody watching this. If you watch this any day on Christmas Eve, on Christmas Day, anytime during this weekend, thank you. We'd love to have you.
Hey, you know what? And happy Kwanzaa to those Kwanzaa goers out there.
Hey, happy Kwanzaa. Hey, is Kwanzaa higher than Hanukkah in your mind? Everywhere I hear it, it's always Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. Like they always like stack Kwanzaa next to Hanukkah like it's a side dish.
People are sleeping on Kwanzaa these days, to be honest.
Yeah, man.
I'm joking. Hanukkah's easily bigger. Kwanzaa is, I think it's, do you even know anyone that celebrates?
I don't know a single person. And to be honest, I don't need to.
That's your answer right there.
I don't need to know. But welcome, everybody. I know what you're all here for. This is the championship week. The people that will be watching this are in either competing for the finals, or if you have placement prizes of second place or third place, you'll be watching this as well. This will be for you guys. We will be going over everything that we need to go over. We will go as in-depth as we need to for all these positions because that's how important this week is. Money is on the line. And you can tell by what we're wearing, this is a very serious episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Money's on the line. You know, in some leagues, if it's not money, it's respect.
Yeah.
All right. And some people say that's worth more than money. So, yeah, this is it, guys. This is it for the very few of you left that are tuning into this.
Of course.
It's going to be for you.
But let's get right into it. Let's start off with the quarterbacks here. We shall start off with some of these guys here, and this is what makes it so interesting. And I had to think about this. I went back and forth. I have Trevor Lawrence as my start of the week in the final week of the year. Why, you may ask? He has been on fire. And you cannot ignore it. He's had 9 touchdowns in the last 2 games. He's now, in some leagues, he is number 4. Of all quarterbacks, he's number 4. He has made it into the top 5. So you have to, if you have Trevor Lawrence, and most likely you picked him up, and he's probably been a backup for you most of the season. If you do have him in any of these leagues, you have to give him the consideration of whoever you have as your main quarterback. You have to almost convince yourself, anybody, whether you have Drake May or Josh Allen or Matthew Stafford, even if you are going to go with those guys because that's who got you to this point in the first place, you have to at least think about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. I don't think anyone's asking why if they've seen any Jacksonville games.
Yeah.
Like, no one's asking why Trevor Lawrence is in this position. He's so good. He's the Trevor Lawrence that people thought he would be when he was drafted. So, yeah. He's stellar. I love him in this position this week. And
he's also going up against Indianapolis, which not only historically do they do good against Indianapolis, but if we've seen the defense that they've had over the last few weeks, they just allowed 48 points to the Niners.
Yeah.
It's
battered.
Gonna be
a competitive game.
Yeah, it's battered. It's bruised. I have a good feeling that Trevor Lawrence he's going to work this week. The only question is, would you consider starting him depending on who you have? Like Josh Allen, this would be crazy to consider because he is technically the number 1 quarterback right now, but he knocked a lot of people out of the playoffs last week. He had a stinker against the Browns, and he's facing the Eagles this week. I'm not saying you have to, but there has to be some back and forth in your mind about it.
Yeah.
You have to weigh your options.
You do. But it's like, I don't know. you can't go wrong with Trevor Lawrence. Like if you're deciding between Trevor and Josh Allen, I mean, you have a pretty good. Your chances of winning your matchup are pretty good. So
Yeah.
definitely start him over most QBs out there. But yeah, weigh your options. Check out the matchups. He is a really good one. So
Jacoby Brissett is on this. I put him on the list again. Last week, surprisingly less. The first week where he didn't do like too well, but he should have a considerable bounce back this week because he's facing the Bengals.
yeah.
And of course, the way he's playing and the way the Bengals are playing, that's just a great matchup for both sides. That's why I have Joe Burrow as well. But real quick tangent. Dude, for all the Trey McBride owners out there, I think you won. I think you already won your league. It's easily the best tight end in the NFL going up against the worst team against tight ends. Last season, he was in the same position, championship week, and he scored like 30 points. Is it crazy to expect that Trey McBride could get 30 points this week?
Honestly, no.
Honestly,
Why would it be crazy. Here's the deal, too. Like, everyone's been hyping up Michael Wilson. Well, Marvin Harrison's back, and there's been one clear winner in this offense, overall, and that's Trey McBride. Even when Marvin Harrison is out, Trey McBride trumps Michael Wilson most of the time. So it's like, in terms of targets, big playability.
he is leagues above every other tight end this season. If you look at what he's done this season versus every other tight end, it's not even close. There is a massive gap between number one and the rest of the group. Yeah. The only one I could see being close is George Kittle, but he's also been hurt almost half the season. Yeah. So it's just worked out perfectly for him. If you have Trey McBride going into this week, like I know some people will, it's not if you're going to have a good week, it's how good that week's going to be.
True.
But everything that he will do will go straight to Jacoby.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, it's going to point back to Jacoby. And, you shouldn't be surprised that he's on this list, too, because he's been stellar since he's been playing.
Yeah.
Like 20-point games almost every single week, if not more than 20. So just a consistent start, you have to potentially start him depending on your options. And on the other side of the field, we got the Bengals with Joe Burrow.
But I was right. There were so many people that doubted him off of 90 seconds
last week.
Off of 90 seconds in an interview where he's like, I just don't know if I'm going to. Look, what he says for a minute and a half in an interview is not going to decide if he is bad at football.
No.
And people should not have questioned that. I know he was coming off a terrible game, but it's Joe Burrow.
It's Joe Burrow.
It's not all of a sudden like, oh, he had a bad game. Now all of his games are going to be bad. He was so good last week. He made everybody around him good. He's going to be great in this matchup too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm playing him over. I trusted the opinion of play Bo Nix over Burrow last week, and it almost got me got. So no more of that.
Yeah. Honestly, he could be even better this week, Kyle, because he's playing against trash defense. Arizona is terrible. And yeah, I think it looks good for them. He really needs to prove himself. I mean, I guess he really doesn't because he's Joe Burrow, but I think he's trying to prove that he's back after an injury the last few games of the season.
He's out there to have fun.
Yeah. So
the only other thing, the last couple of matchups we can look at here is Brock Purdy and Caleb Williams. They're also facing each other of the 49ers going up against the Bears. Brock Purdy, these are if you haven't found your like solidified QB. These are the guys where it's like you're just considering like, oh, maybe I drafted a little later. I took a chance on a couple guys. Maybe I'm still figuring it out. And maybe you landed on Brock Purdy because he spent most of the season doing nothing. But now that pretty much everybody's back and healthy outside of Ricky Pearsall, you can see it in Brock Purdy and his performances. He's playing great football again. He's got Kittle out there. He's got Jennings out there. McCaffrey's playing well. Maybe keep track of whether Kittle's going to play in this game. Like, that's a huge thing to consider going into this week. But if everybody plays, this is a good matchup. Two teams that need to win. I think it's great for Purdy. And Caleb. Caleb's risky. He's always been risky all season. But when it matters most, this team seems to be winning games, and he can perform a good game. And the Niners' defense is just too injured. They're too battered. They're too torn. As if he gets Romadunze back, if he gets Burden back, he could be a very good startable option as well.
Yes, 100% agree.
Yeah.
No notes. Yeah, said it all, bro.
They're not like my top picks of like, oh, I would start these guys over, your top probably 5 or 6 quarterbacks that
Dak
most
Prescott.
of these guys. Yeah, that Dak Prescott and
Josh Allen
and Trevor Lawrence now. Now that he's in the top 5. But, maybe you have to consider it in some places. Maybe, Jalen. Maybe you're making a decision if Jalen Hurts is going to play for you this week.
Yeah, true. That is an interesting one. But, yeah, I could see it. Weigh your matchups and,
figure out what you got. You only got one.
You got. Exactly. This is it, guys. If you made it this far, you probably know what you're doing. Let's be honest. So just have faith in yourself. Choose who you think would do best.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm in the finals of 3 leagues, and I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm faking it till I'm making it.
Oh, yeah.
But we can go into the sits here. And some more obvious sits than others, like obviously Sam Darnold. It's unless you're in a really bad spot, I don't know why you need to consider Sam Darnold, but he's there just in case you needed a refresher. It's more of Justin Herbert, who had a huge week last week. He played incredible. We talked about him in one of our previous episodes of he could either be great or he could be terrible in that Cowboys game. And he was great. But now you're going into the exact opposite situation. You're facing the Houston Texans. I'm still not convinced that this is a great offense with the way their line's looking. And for me, some people, I assume for a lot of people, Justin Herbert was probably either barely started or on their bench last week. And if they made it to the end, they're now considering, oh, he had such a hot game. Should I play him? I would bet against that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
It's Houston. It's just Houston, man.
I was about to say it's Houston too, so it's tough, man. Yeah, you can't often bet against one of the best defenses in the league, so.
Yeah. Just look at what the Chargers have done when they haven't faced the Cowboys in the last month. It just hasn't been. That's more likely what we're going to get this week.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially the Chargers themselves have a great defense. So this could be a really low-scoring, tough, gritty, winning 13-10 type game. So most of either the Chargers or Texans players, I would kind of put in that position, unless you have a superstar that you have to play, like a Nico Collins, for example.
Yeah, and you want touchdowns for fantasy.
Yeah.
For the
what about Jordan Love though, Jake?
Jordan Love's interesting.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't really know how I feel about Jordan Love. He's like, he's just too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Not just with his weapons. You don't really know who he's gonna throw to. Week to week, still, it's a thing. And I don't know. It's just he's hard to trust. I don't think Baltimore has one of the best defenses, but they're not one of the worst. So I don't know. What do you think about Jordan Love?
Well, not great.
Yeah.
It's more just it's him currently. He's injured at the moment. So
Mhm.
it's tough to even know if he's even going to play in this game against the Ravens, but I've always flip-flopped on Jordan Love this season of I just never really fully bought in.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things of I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket.
Sure.
I would try to find other options if I could.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Like whatever you may have, and I'm sure you must have something, even if you completely scrapped on quarterbacks this season, even if you completely moved on the other way and you thought, okay, I'll draft all these guys and quarterbacks I'll draft like in the late rounds.
Mhm.
Like I'm sure there are other guys you could have gotten throughout the season. Jacoby, Brissett, Trevor Lawrence, Matthew Stafford, Drake May. These were all guys that you could have drafted as a late backup or just picked off the waiver wire.
Yeah. Bo Nix.
So
Yeah.
Bo Nix, well, he was kind of like going in
A little bit
like
higher.
QB like 7 or something.
Sure.
So it was you still had to pay a little bit of something for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would do for quarterbacks. That's like the big overarching mesh of looking at all the big quarterbacks this week of what I would do with them.
Mm-hmm.
But how about we move on to another position here, Jake?
Let's do it.
Let's get the running backs going. And I'll get to our main star of the week in just a second, but I do want to bring up one guy, a
Do
guy
it.
that I'll commend, hasn't been here all
On, I
season,
know who it is.
but we
I know who
finally
it
found a
is.
way to get him in. Tony
Tony
Pollard,
Pollard, baby. Let's go. I knew it.
ladies and gentlemen,
He's been killing it.
he has been absolutely killing it. And it's not just the fact that he's been pretty good all year. We just haven't really seen it because his points are only from rushing yards. He doesn't catch passes out of the backfield. He's always been a good runner, but he's
Oh
been on
yeah.
a bad offense the whole season.
Yep.
They couldn't get into the end zone. And so he was reliant on touchdowns, and that's why he was bad for so much of the year.
Mm-hmm.
However, the last couple weeks, something's changing a little
I
bit
don't
in
know what
Tennessee.
happened. Yeah.
It's maybe it's just late season, just the talent is just finally starting to put some games together. Some competent offense is
Yeah.
happening.
It is.
Cam Ward's going out there. He's making really fun throws. He's
They could
looking a little better every week.
they could do whatever, now because their season's mad over. It's been
Yeah,
over. So I guess they're just having fun with it and Tony Pollard's reaping the benefits. He's getting the touches. He's ripping some nice runs,
I think
bro.
he's had 3 straight 100-yard games.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like he has been so he's been a guy that I would have had on my bench pretty much almost the whole year. So it's really cool to see it in this last moment. He's a guy where you're trying to figure out your RB2 slot for this week.
No, well, yeah, honestly, and if I'm being real, because we're talking to an audience, Kyle,
Yeah.
that has let's be honest, Tony Pollard is probably not in your top 2 RB positions. He's probably more likely a flex if you made it this far. In my opinion, I would think that. And
You'd be surprised,
honestly,
man.
he's a good flex though. I mean, just because he kind of popped off late season, I feel like he was more of a waiver wire pickup.
I think this season has been
Late
interesting
season
though.
waiver wire.
Not only is it a lot of people that drafted with essentially the idea of I'm going to get 1 star running back and then get everything else. Some
Mm.
people just go into the season with one great running back or I know this to be true because I have this happen to my team. I started the season with like 5 great running backs, and guess who got hurt throughout the year? James Conner, Cam Scattaboo, Quinshon Judkins just got hurt
He did,
this
yeah.
last game.
And that's the thing, yeah. Tony Pollard, dude, and it's nice that we're talking about him because you probably covered this in your waiver wire video that you did earlier this week. But Tony Pollard is on so many waiver wires still. And it makes sense because he really did just start popping off the last 4 weeks or so. And I know he's in one of my waiver wire. He's on one of my waiver wires, and I'm deciding, Kyle, between picking him up and starting him over RJ Harvey or not. I'm trying to figure that
Mm.
out because I had Quinshon Judkins starting and he got injured. And this is all in one of my flex positions. So,
Yeah. Well,
I
actually,
mean, we can talk
we
about
can
that.
discuss that right now.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
go over the fronts and balances of it. The reason Tony Pollard also the reason why this offense is working so well for Tennessee, I think personally, it's not only is it a team that has nothing left to fight for, so they're just going out there and playing their best. This is big for the team because this is an audition. This is essentially an audition to coaching candidates this next season, especially really
Mm,
good offensive coordinators, to be like,
yeah. Yeah.
hey, you want to take a shot on second year Cam Ward? Look at how good our run game's going. Look at how much better he's getting as the season goes on. This is a way to entice people in
Mm,
to want to coach this team, to want to build it
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That's the big thing to me. That's what I
I
like to
agree.
see. Uh, so if we're comparing Tony Pollard to RJ Harvey, it's funny because the Chiefs just finished facing the Titans. They got absolutely cooked
Mm.
by a 3-win team. And now they lost Gardner Minshew to a torn ACL. The same injury. So now they're playing a third string. I've never heard his name in my life. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about him.
Yeah.
The offense has fallen down completely. And I'll go more into the Chiefs offense, but I think this game is going to be a complete blowout. And if it is a complete blowout, you should expect a lot of opportunities for RJ in this game. So
Mm,
it's tough. It's tough
it
between the
is.
two because I think RJ Harvey, he doesn't actually get too many rushing yards, but he seems to get a touchdown every week.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm leaning on RJ just because I know that like the Broncos have more ability to get down the field than the Titans do. Just
Yeah.
being honest. They do. They have more talent that could get them down the field. So, for that reason, yeah, I'm leaning on RJ. Probably will start him. But I mean, it's just crazy that Tony's on my waiver wire and I'm like, man, that's enticing. Should I pick him up? Should I not? I don't know.
I think RJ Harvey could low key have a league winning game.
Yeah.
I think they could be up by so many points and they would just stick to a run game just to make it easy and he could end up with multiple touchdowns in this game against Kansas City. Who, by the way, with that third string quarterback, with no Rashee Rice possibly, if he's even playing at all, you could argue the Chiefs might have the worst overall offense in the NFL right now. Worse than the other backups in the league. Worse than the Brady Cook Jets.
Mm.
Worse than the Quinn Ewers Dolphins. That's how bad this is right now.
Man, it's yeah. But honestly, to me it makes sense just because it's like, well, what are they playing for? You know,
Yeah.
they're not going to do anything in the this season in the playoffs. If they even make it in the playoffs, they can't make it in the playoffs, can they?
The Chiefs are a team that was just recently defeated. They feel
Mhm.
defeated. The Titans had their season defeated at like week 5. They gotten over it.
Yeah.
They got over it like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah, 100%. They're on
So,
to the next.
but if I have to answer the question between Tony and RJ, if that were the position, I'd take RJ just because of how consistently he's been getting touchdowns and the possibility of how many opportunities he's going to have in this game.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
That's what I would do. If we can focus on the other 3 here as well, but
Yeah,
I
we
love talking I
let's
love
quickly
talking about
wrap up
those
these other
two.
three guys.
Yeah, yeah. Saquon, he's got enough to play for this season. Apparently he's got incentives that he's playing
Mhm.
for to get certain amount of rushing yards, which he's got to get to 1,000. He needs to get to 1,000 plus. He's going to hit those numbers.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
no
this is
doubt.
the game he's going to do it in.
They're gonna
He's
let
bef-
him have the ball to be able to make that happen.
and Ashton Jeanty somehow, some way, had an amazing game against the Texans. Okay.
He had a crazy long receiving touchdown,
And I
right?
know there's some teams, yeah, no, it was either receiving or rushing. I didn't check to see
I think
which one it was over the other,
I think it was receiving, but
but
still,
he's one of those guys where you're on the same place as Tony almost, where you have to consider like am I playing him
Right.
in this week? And I think, with the Giants,
It's a matchup thing.
it's a matchup made in heaven. It's the two worst teams in the NFL going head to head. Winner gets the number one pick in my mind. So that means they have to lose. The winning loser gets the number one pick. So, but both teams are going to play their hearts out because no team wants to be the worst team in the NFL.
Oh, no.
So I think Jeanty, they'll rely on their talent. I think Jeanty will be a good start for this week. Risky, but for this week and this week alone, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Chase Brown had a 3-touchdown day. Hey, and he'll be great against the Cardinals. And guess what? He's now officially in the top 10 of running backs, and I always knew he'd be there. I always knew.
Just took it to the last.
I always knew, man.
Last few weeks.
It worked out exactly how I planned it would at the start of the season.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's
what a
good.
roller coaster of a player.
Oh yeah, 100%. But he's there. He's gonna stay. There's really no competition unless they draft someone else, and I don't think they're gonna do that. So
no. Let's move on to the running backs here. Our sittable running backs, I think, follow the same pattern as Justin Herbert, Omarion Hampton / Kamani Vidal. I don't think you should play them this week against Houston. I know we just had a big game from Ashton Jeanty. I know he just had a big game, but I'm sorry, that's an aberration.
yeah.
That is not likely going to happen again. Houston is too good for that. And this offensive line is just not great enough. And honestly, Omarion Hampton is not a strong enough running back for me to consider that.
Mm-hmm.
Just from what I've seen, he looks okay. He's an okay looking running back.
He just looks okay.
But he's just one of the main guys. Like Breece Hall as well. Man, what happened to Breece Hall? He was playing so well, like the midpoint of the season. He was doing very well. Maybe once the quarterback changes kept happening, maybe the changes in the offense, but he's just been kind of a non-factor in all these matchups.
Yeah, and that's too bad. And they're going up against a great defense.
Yeah.
One of the best, New England. So I agree. I just don't think it's going to be good for him.
I mean, it is Brady Cook leading the charge, and they've been pretty awful the last couple of weeks. So they're just going to ride with it. They're going to lose as many games as possible.
Yeah.
And then Rico Dowdle, which this is on me. I thought Rico Dowdle was going to have a great game. I thought everything was set up. I think Bucky Irving had a good game. But he just didn't get enough carries. It was weird. My only thought of how this happened was he had so many great games in a row that they were just like, let's just play the hot hand. Well, now the hot hand is just not hot anymore. He's lukewarm. He's actually kind of cold at times. Like, you got to put him back in the oven. And because he's not the hot hand, they've now found a way to get Chuba Hubbard back and more involved in the offense. So I guess this is just what Dowdle is right now. He'll get 10 carries a game, which is not enough.
No, it's not. And
it's not enough.
He's been doing that for at least a few games now, and it's just it sucks. Yeah, his fantasy points have been dwindling, and I don't see it stopping this week, And I believe in Seattle. Obviously, we believe in Seattle.
Oh, yeah. It is a big win. It is a big game. Every game for the Panthers this season is a must win.
Yeah.
So, but both teams have something to fight for. They have to fight to make the playoffs. We have to fight because we need the number 1 overall pick. Not pick, number 1 seed in the playoffs.
Yes, exactly.
So we'll see what happens. I just don't think they're going to get it done necessarily with him.
Yeah.
Wide receivers.
Yes, sir.
If Drake London is playing, I will 100% play him. I don't care who he's facing. For
Doesn't
people
matter.
that might be doubting it, he came back in this last game after a lot of weeks he was injured. I didn't have him on any of my leagues, so I didn't know how long he was injured for. And he had somewhat of a kind of a disappointing game. But from what he's been able to do for most of the year, even if it's not Michael Penix, I'd still play Drake London. I still think it's going to work out. I still think you should play him against the Rams because I think the talent is just there.
Yeah. Dude, every time you watch him get a long bomb, it kind of just makes you think,
Nice. It's on loop, Jake.
Okay.
You got to unloop it.
Did not know that, but yeah. He's good. Come on. It's Drake London.
Yeah, it's Drake London.
Enough said.
Who of these guys, what else on the board do you like here?
Dude, there's a lot of, you hit him with some interesting names, some guys that have been really kind of up and coming the last few weeks. I really do like Mike Evans now that he's back. It's clear,
I like him too.
It's so clear that he's Baker Mayfield's number one option. Like, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Every time this man touches the field, because he's got the longest arms. I always talk about that, but he really does have such long arms. Baker throws him everything. So I don't see why that would stop. As long as Mike Evans is healthy and playing, he's gonna be killer and get 7 to 10 targets a game. I just think that's gonna happen.
He's gonna be killer, no filler. He's shown it many seasons, a few seasons with the Baker-led Bucks now, that if this is the last season of him on the Bucks, I'm not sure. I don't really know, but he's gonna make the most of it.
Yes.
Especially since the team themselves are, they're falling apart massively, and they need to rely on something.
They need to lean on someone. Yeah, exactly.
Because they need to make it to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Chris Olave though.
Oh yeah, I was about to say Chris Olave. He had a crazy game.
I'm not gonna lie, this Saints Titans game, low key, I kind of like it,
dude.
If I said that in week 6. If I said in week 6 of this season, I'm like, man, I'm really excited for a Saints Tennessee Titans game. That'd be insane.
They're evenly matched. Let's be honest.
But
he's had an entertaining type of way.
Yeah, and in just for all the seasons where I kept thinking like, man, Chris Olave has so much talent, but just it's not working out for him. Something's not happening. All of a sudden, Tyler Shuck has just found a way to get him the ball. Yes. He's found a way, and Chris Olave was already doing good before Tyler Shuck this season, but now he's really taking it to that next step. He's number 6 on the year, I believe. He has been an outstanding player, outstanding value.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler Shuck, with the way he's winning games, here's the difference between him and Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler was not that bad. Tyler Shuck is playing he's playing better, but Spencer Rattler never won any football games. He never won them any games. Tyler Shuck is winning them football games consistently. He's knocked them out of any contention to get one of those top QBs. He's now forced the team to look at him and be like, man, we might have to run this guy next season.
Mm-hmm. Yes. He's consistent. He's been consistent. And that's really what you need, out of a quarterback who's trying to stay on the team and trying to do something to help the team in the future. Yeah, I think it's been really good. And that last game with Chris Olave, man,
he popped off.
Ridiculous.
I'll be so excited to see if they do go with Tyler Shuck next year. Which I believe they will. This is not the team that goes out and drafts young quarterbacks. They've never been a very desperate team to get a QB.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna roll with this next season and see what happens. And I'm not sold that he's the franchise guy, but I am intrigued. I'll give it that. I am interested in seeing what could come of this.
Same.
And obviously on the other sides,
My bad. Go ahead.
and on the other sides, Juan Jennings has been very good since he came back from the injury. He's also shown that he's like the number one main receiver. And just like what I said with Brock Purdy, keep tabs on the George Kittle injury, because it might not be great for the offense as a whole. It's going to be great for Jennings, because he's going to be forcibly given the ball a lot more if Kittle is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And T. Higgins is T. Higgins. He's inconsistent. He's the wide receiver too. You never really know what's going to happen week to week, but this week I project is going to be a very good week for him.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Great game right there for him.
But if there are some people to sit, let me go over them.
Woo.
I think Rashee Rice, I think you have to sit him.
Dude,
I don't know any
number one on the team.
Dude, well, three things.
Bro.
One, he's hurt.
3. All right.
One, he's hurt. He's questionable.
Yeah,
Two, his quarterback is Chris Agumba Wamba Lumba Jumbale.
Yeah.
He's a third stringer that I've never heard of. They did not plan to lose 2 guys with a torn ACL. And 3, if none of that dissuaded you, that he's facing the Broncos and he's likely going to get covered by Pat Surtain if he does play. I don't see a situation where this works out for him.
No, I know. I was just messing. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough considering what Rashee Rice was and now where he is.
Yeah.
It sucks. But you know what? Some people are playing him, and there will be people that don't watch this video, and even people that probably do, that are just like, you know what? He's Rashee Rice. I'm going to play him.
I can't.
And they are going to regret that.
I'm in a finals. Take my word for it. I'm in a finals this week, and I have to play like about 3 to 4 wide receivers, and I can't play him. Yeah. I just can't. I'm playing Khalil Shakir over him.
Yeah,
and that should tell you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I have Egbuka on this list because, I mean, it's been proven over the last number of weeks. He's just, right now, maybe next season, maybe going into the future, he really does develop into that guy. But now it's been so bad that I'm starting to question that.
Yeah.
You remember that meme of that video that floats around where it's like, you're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm starting to think, man, it's really fallen off a cliff. He wasn't even, he had 1 target and 1 catch in that whole game against the Panthers. They just kept going to Evans and Godwin the whole time.
Well, that's it, bro. It's like we were saying, right?
He lost faith. They lost faith in him.
I mean, it could be that, but it's also, you can't have a rookie really compete, with top tier veterans like Godwin and Evans. It just doesn't happen.
You can if he's good.
I mean, yeah, but even when Cooper Kupp and Puka were on the same team, Cooper Kupp was still doing really well until he wasn't. I think that'll eventually happen with like Evan, or what's his name? Emeka and Egbuka will eventually take over, right? But I do think that now it just isn't the time.
I had to play him, or at least I felt like I did. I felt like I had to play him in a league because I just didn't have any receivers behind me. And after that last game, I'm like, I feel like I could have picked up any Joe Schmo off the waiver, and it could have been better. And it might not have been, but that's how I felt. And it really sucks sometimes. But I don't know, the way he had his whole season, the last couple months where it's just been stat lines of 3 catches on 7 targets, 2 catches on 9 targets, 3 catches on 10 targets. It just, when you start building that on weeks of film tape, they start looking at that statistically and being like, I don't know if we can rely on this guy to consistently come down with the ball. The connection was just off. It was severed. Yeah. So We'll have to see going into next season. I still believe he's a very talented player, but he's got to put it together. It's like a real damper on a player that everybody was super excited for.
Yeah.
And Quentin Johnston, he had a great game last week. Do I think it's going to happen again? No.
It could, but
It
not
could.
likely. It's not likely.
But not likely. And if you have any reason as to why I say that, just refer to all of the above on the other Chargers players.
Mm-hmm.
Let's finish this off, Jake. Let's go with the tight ends. Probably the most crucial part in my mind, the most crucial make or break part on a fantasy team going into the final game is figuring out the right tight end.
Yep. Facts.
But the way I think of this is there are a few guys that you should go with. Harold Fannin, you have to play. He's one of those guys in this position. When I say star of the week, I mean, unless you have Trey McBride on your team, or if, say, George Kittle plays, you're playing Fannin over almost everybody. I'd play Fannin over Brock Bowers right now.
Bro.
I will. I will do it. I will.
He's fire. He's the guy.
He's really, really good.
He's the number one option on the team.
He's the
100%.
number one option on the team. He's shown it consistently. He's going up against Pittsburgh. I think it's just going to work out.
He's a killer, dude. He's a killer tight end.
And he's a guy where this is going to go into next season. I'm curious to see going into next year how high he's going to be drafted.
Yeah.
That will all depend on what their offense is set up to be, and if Shador is still the QB or not, which they're still losing a lot of football games, so we have no idea. A lot could change, but I assume he could be the tight end that everybody gets super high on and really drafts at like the top 3 or 4 guys.
For sure. He's at least the next Jake Ferguson, like where Jake Ferguson was drafted this year.
Yeah.
Which was lower.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry. Wait. The next Jake Ferguson?
What?
Jake Ferguson was like barely drafted top 10.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I think people are gonna like really buy into the stuff. I think people are gonna think of him as like they're gonna take chances on him as like the top 4 or 5 tight ends taken.
No.
I think people will.
That's ridiculous.
I think the hype will get so out of control that people are going to be like, okay, Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, George Kittle, Harold Fannin. Whoa. That's where I think the hype is going.
But honestly, Harold Fannin over Jake Ferg?
Yes.
All right, well, whatever.
And we will get to that in a second. Or maybe he'll just be the next Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, number 2 tight end this season, Kyle Pitts. Have you heard of him? No, the number 2 tight end of the season, Kyle Pitts.
He's pretty good. Yeah,
he's pretty good. And a lot of people were questioning to start him last week. I tried to come out and say you should take the risk on him. It wasn't just a 1-game hit. He's been getting so many targets as of late. And also, when you have a game that good, you think the team's just going to be like, oh, cool, 4 targets for you? No, they're going to absolutely take advantage of that and be like, okay, let's see if you can replicate it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give you more chances. Let's give you more targets.
Oh, yeah. No,
I think even in this matchup against the Rams, he's going to be used quite a bit. I think he's going to have another good game. Is he really the second best tight end of the season? Not really. But good for him. He'll use that to probably get a big payday wherever he goes.
Oh, 100%. 100%, bro. Come on.
I put Bretton Strange and Darren Waller on here because this is my list, and I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Waller, obviously, I've talked about that way too much the last few weeks. Bretton Strange, he's risky. He's like the streaming option where I don't know if he's going to have a great game or not. Yeah. But at this point, I'm just betting on how white hot the Jaguars' offense is, and that he has the opportunity to have a big game. In the same way that, Jacoby Myers has a chance to have a great game. Parker Washington has a chance to have a great game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
With how on fire, especially with how on fire Trevor Lawrence is.
Yeah.
And I do think he likes Brendan Strange as a target. He's shown that over the year as Brendan's been on the field. He's been on and off because he's been hurt. But still, yeah, I think it could be really good for him.
Yeah. And we can round off the list with Coleston Loveland. I think some people might have forgotten him the last couple of weeks, mostly because he's been facing really good teams and really good defenses against tight ends. And it's sort of like made people a little bit forgotten about him. But the thing about Coleston Loveland is that he's been a consistent part of this offense for about 2 months now. Even if it is on the lower end, he has at least 5 targets a game for the last 2 months.
Yes.
He's been probably one of the most consistent guys there. So I think in a good matchup, I think there's a chance he can have a pretty good week, especially if you're considering any of the other guys that we're going to talk about in the sits here, which you might, because these have been some of the top tight ends of the season. I think for this week, you should bet against them.
Let's do it.
We'll start with Travis Kelce here. Same reasons as Rashee Rice. He might be the number 3 tight end on the season, but in that game with Gardner Minshew, he had 1 catch for 6 yards. In a game where they could not do anything offensively. And now they have the 3rd stringer. And let me paint a picture here, Jake. You have a Kansas City Chiefs team with a 3rd string quarterback. It's a 3rd string quarterback where this entire team was held up by Patrick Mahomes and string cheese. And unfortunately, his ACL was also made of string cheese, so it broke. He was their top passer. He was their leading rusher. So they have no run game. They have no pass game. That's not a good offense.
Jeez, man. Kansas City Chiefs fans be like,
hey. I'm sorry. It will only get worse. I assume it will only get worse because next season he's not going to be 100%, and he's not going to be your leading rusher next season.
Yeah. No, exactly. They are on the down and down. Let's be honest.
Which honestly, and maybe for a future video, I think they might consider drafting a running back. What if the Chiefs have a chance to get Jeremiah Love?
Dude, I've seen it. It's not out of the picture, Kyle. Because running backs drop in the draft. That's just historically what's happened.
Yeah. And Chiefs at this point, if they don't win a game, they'll be top 10.
Yeah.
They might be a top 10 draft position.
I just know whatever running back they get, I want.
Yeah.
They're probably going to do good.
We'll see. But it's not just Travis Kelce. I put Jake Ferguson in here as well.
Yeah.
And look, he has a chance to have a good game because it's Washington, and Washington's one of the worst defenses.
Yes.
But when you have 4 straight games of under 20 yards receiving, it really does put a damper on things. And I'm not sure. I can't take that risk.
It's a risky option. Definitely weigh your options. There could be better options on the waiver wire. So yeah, I would consider other guys.
Yeah. It's a weird year for tight ends. There have been a lot of good tight ends, but there's only maybe 2 tight ends I would consider, every week starters no matter the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas Goedert is, once again, he's a guy just a victim of a bad matchup this week. Facing the Buffalo Bills, the number 1 defense covering tight ends. And they've had a very good track record this season on everyone they've covered. So as good as Dallas Goedert has been, and it's been a really great season for him, it's just not the week. I just don't think it's going to be the week where he rakes in and does enough for what you would want him to do.
Thanks.
Absolute. But that's all we got. That is just about every position that we got here for all the major positions. Thank you so much to everybody that watched this episode. I just want to say thank you to anybody that watched through our videos through these last few months. This is our first full season of doing this for the first time. It's been a very fun experiment to do, to try out, and it's something I've really enjoyed doing, and I want to continue to doing it throughout the off season, even though our schedule is going to be some months we'll be putting out normal, consistent videos, some months not as much. But I'm very excited to have this season done and to move on to the off season and just continue making great content.
100%. Yeah. And that's kind of what I was going to go off of too. Yeah, just thank you guys. It's been stellar. This is our first season of making videos, really.
Yeah.
And Kyle's been putting in the work. I've been helping filming. And it's just been a good time. Wouldn't you agree, Kyle?
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah. And we're just going to get better and better. Next season, it's going to be, the same, but also, we'll follow the trends. We'll keep up with what's going on and help you guys out as much as we can. So that's what we're here for. But yeah, thank you for all who tuned in, and see you in the next one in the off season.
Leave a comment down below if you have any matchups that you want to talk about for this week. If you're struggling with any guys, we will do our best to give you the best advice that we can possibly give you. I'm in multiple finals myself, so I'm having to figure out a lot of decisions and figure out what I'm doing this week. A lot of waiver wire stuff, actually. So in a complex fantasy world, just remember to stay simple. Merry Christmas. God bless.
And happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.